Welcome back in day 6. Yesterday we've reached the 200 milestone. Let's start with our game. So we've got d4, I play also d5. Knight c3 has been played, knight f6. My opponent has developed one piece, I developed one piece, now he developed bishop to g5. I'm going to play e6. Now note that my knight pinned on the queen, so I cannot move the knight, for example, and take this pawn. It would be a blunder because he would take my queen with his bishop, and as you all know, the queen is worth 9 points, but the bishop worth only 3 points. So I'm not going to grab this pawn, although the pawn is not defended by any other piece. But now what I'm thinking to do, I can develop one more piece. I will develop my bishop here. Now the knight is not more pinned on the queen, so if the pawn is not protected, maybe I would grab it next move. So let's see. Yes, he didn't protect the pawn, so now I can take the pawn, and I'm also attacking the bishop, so he can take back with the bishop, I can take back with my queen. So let's just take the pawn, or let's also think in the development. How could we develop our pieces? So is it better to take the pawn, or just to bring another piece outside? So in the opening, you don't want to only to take pawns. This is not the goal. However, I guess this is the best move now in this position because the pawn is free. So let's just grab it. Yeah. See, I've taken the pawn and my opponent has blundered. Look, he took a pawn with a whole knight. I don't know what is the idea of doing this because I can just simply take the knight with this pawn or with my queen. I can also take the bishop. It's free. So yeah, of course, I couldn't take with the queen, by the way, because the knight is defended by the bishop. So if I took with the queen, it would be also a blunder because he would take my queen with his bishop. But no, I can take the knight with the pawn. I can take this free bishop. Okay, maybe he was thinking, okay, I would take this pawn with my knight and I'm attacking the bishop with two pieces, with my bishop and with my knight. But no, I would just take the knight with this pawn, see what happens. Now he can take the bishop. I can take back, he has taken the knight, and I can also grab this bishop. Look at the position now. I have two options. I can take this bishop, it is free, it is not defended. I can also take this bishop with my queen, it is also free and not defended. So, which move is the best here? Best move is to take this bishop. Why? Because this move has three advantages. One, I would take the bishop. Two, I'd bring my queen into the center of the board. The queen will become more active. And three, I'm also threatening to take this rook. So if I take the bishop and my opponent has taken this bishop, I can simply take the rook and I would be ahead of a lot of material. So let's just do this. Okay, he defended the bishop by the knight. He covered the attack against the rook. So this move is okay. But I can take the bishop anyway because I'm attacking the bishop with two pieces and my opponent is defending the bishop with only the knight, one piece. So I would take the bishop. If he took back with the knight, I would just take the knight. Look now, we are up with 8 points. Okay, he didn't take because if he take the bishop, I could take the knight, or I also could take this undefended rook, checking the king. So he instead played the queen to d3, and I have a lot of options. I can bring my bishop here, attacking the queen, but in this case, the bishop here wouldn't be defended. You have to take care. Because my bishop is defended by the queen, I brought the bishop here. It would cover the queen, so this bishop wouldn't be defended anymore. However, he cannot take because if I brought the bishop here, his queen would be under attack, and also this rook would be under attack. So I can also develop one more piece. I can castle my king. I have a lot of options here. So what is the best move? Okay, so let's play this move. It has a lot of advantages here. I think this is the best one. Why? Because I would be attacking the queen. I've also developed another piece. Also, we have to take care of our time. We have only 4 minutes. He moved the queen away. I am moving my bishop away of this attack from the knight and also attacking the queen one more time with my bishop. He gave me a check, so I can defend the check with many pieces. I would just cover the check with my bishop. Why? To attack the queen one more time. This is what is called tempo. Okay, he offers trading for the queens. Okay, so yeah, let's trade queens. It's okay, because if you are ahead of material, it is also a good idea to trade pieces. And now let's develop our last minor piece that is not developed, the knight. So I would play the knight here to c6. He castled, so I would castle as well. So rook has been played. I'm putting the bishop here in a better diagonal, putting pressure on this pawn. The pawn is defended here now by 2 pieces. And I'm attacking it also with 2 pieces. He is kicking my knight away, so I would just retreat with my knight, attacking this undefended pawn. He defended the pawn by the king. Okay, let's bring this or this rook, one of these rooks, into the center. Okay, let's bring this rook into action. Maybe next move I would bring my rook into the d file. As you see, all my pieces are active. He played this now, and I developed my last piece. All pieces are developed now. Look at my rooks, look at my bishops, my knights. Okay, he defended the pawn. He also defended that pawn by moving it. Now I would play knight e4. So now I bring the rook to the 6th rank. Maybe it would be participate in the attack against the king. Okay, we've got this move. So let's check the king. And I'm attacking the knight now. Maybe I'm not playing the best moves right now, but any move would simply win because we are ahead of a lot of material. And if you're ahead of material, you can just trade pieces safely. So I'm taking the knight. He takes with his king. The bishop keeps this square for me in the future, so I can trade rook. Why not? Trade pieces. And now bring the last rook into action. Maybe I would attack this pawn in my next move. Yes, let's attack this undefended pawn. He cannot defend this pawn, so I can grab it, and maybe we are preparing to a checkmate here. If he didn't care, it would be a checkmate. Okay, he moved his king, but again, I'll take the pawn, and I'm threatening a checkmate here because the bishop is watching these 2 squares, but he saw it and he moved his king. Again, I still have checkmate. Why? I have a checkmate. So my next move would be a checkmate. I'll play the rook on h1. Why it is a checkmate? Because look at these squares. The king cannot escape to any of these squares because of the bishop and because of the knight. And that's why developing pieces is always a good idea. That's why it's important to put your pieces on active squares. So I would just give him a checkmate and then we would review the game because we have only 45 seconds. Yeah, we won with the checkmate. It was a beautiful one. So now let's review the game. We've got d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, and this is the first mistake from my opponent. I covered the pin to be able to grab the pawn. Here we go, we've taken the pawn. He blundered his knight, simply taking it, and now taking the bishop, another bishop. I can simply trade my pieces now because I'm ahead of material. Look at this, I'm ahead with 8 points. So trading is a very good idea. So he offered queen trade, let's do it. Now develop last piece, he castled, and I'm bringing my bishop to a better diagonal here. He kicks my knight away, so I would just retreat and bring the rook into action. Other rook would be developed. And here the rook participates in the attack, attacking the king. My bishop attacking the knight, he retreats. I simply take the knight and now bringing the bishop into this beautiful square here on f3. Why? Because now these squares are taken by my bishop. So he offered trade, let's trade, and now I play d4, threatening mate in 4. Now I'm threatening to give the king a beautiful checkmate on the h1 square, like what happened in the game. So he played this last mistake in the game. He should have played the rook on c5 here, offering rook trades, because now I'm not able to bring my rook here. And best move would be just to take the rook and then I would take with my knight. But again, I'm ahead with material. I have 3 pieces up, so I would win the game anyway. So my opponent has played b4, and now I have mate in 4. Look at this, m4. It means I can mate my opponent in 4 moves. And we've done this, taking the pawn, and now we've giving our opponent a beautiful checkmate on the h square because the king cannot escape, and all these squares has been taken because of my beautiful placed knight and bishop. Thank you for watching, and I see you next game.